Oh, hello everyone, it's Susie here, Crypto Granny. I'm sorry, I'm getting later and later, my apologies. I didn't get to bed last night until about 4 in the morning. I'm just an absolute night owl, seriously. I just love the nights and I've got to start getting back to some normal time to go to bed, that's for sure. The markets just fascinate me, seriously. I could honestly watch them all night. They just absolutely fascinate me. Now, all I can say is bull, seriously. The date's the 15th of April, 2021, and it is 17:54 p.m. in Amsterdam time in the Netherlands. And honestly, like I said, this market is just going absolute bull, and it will go even higher and higher, ballistic, absolutely ballistic, right? There's just so much to talk about, and I don't even know where to start, seriously, because every day the news that comes out for crypto is just unbelievable. And what's happening in other financial market assets as well, like equity markets, for example. So it's really quite incredible, I have to say. So let's just what we'll do is we'll look at some of the stats, and then we'll go to the news. And obviously we have a lot to talk in fiat markets too, because there's quite a lot of stuff happening in the world as well, which we need to be aware of when we're, investing in cryptocurrency. But certainly the big picture for me, this market goes much higher. Market cap at the moment is 2.272 trillion. I do believe it will get to, I was initially saying 4 trillion, but everything I'm reading, I believe this market cap could get to 6 trillion by the end of the year. And I'm absolutely dead serious. Volume is 118 bill and liquidity is 4.5 bill, quite high today as well. And Bitcoin dominance is 51.66% and going lower. Now, I've told you all, I believe it can get down to a minimum of 45 and then it'll break down to its low of 35, which, if you look back in the charts, I can't remember what time period it was. I think it was maybe 2000... before the bear market, 2017 or 16, something like that. But anyway, have a look at the time frame. But I do believe it could get down to that 35% for sure. Absolutely, because there's specific alts that are going to continue to outperform Bitcoin on a risk-adjusted return basis. The Sharpe ratio, as I said to you before. Excuse me, I'll just have some water. So it's exactly doing what I expected to do, which is, I've just got it so right. So if we look at Mazzari and we look at real volume for the day, and I always look at this because it's really important to just know exactly how much money is coming to the system of crypto. Tether did 39.49 bill, Bitcoin 9.64 bill, Ethereum 6.74 bill, Binance USD 5.67 bill, Dodge, crikey, even Dodge did over 5 bill, my goodness me. XRP did 4.99 bill, that is massive, man. I haven't seen that for a long time with XRP, that much. 5 bill, that's a huge amount of XRP. Binance itself did 3.08 bill, then you had Link at 1.92 bill, Cardano at 1.76 bill, Tron at 1.3 bill. My God, these figures are huge. Even VeChain was over a billion. My God, that's unbelievable. These figures are amazing. More money is coming into this market. You can just see it with these numbers. This is just feeding, and we are in like the opportunity of a lifetime. I can't even tell you that we really are. This is just mind-blowing. And even if you got into crypto right now, you would still make money. It is not too late to be in specific cryptocurrency assets that we're invested in. Seriously, this market is just so exciting to me. It's just incredible. Anyway, let's get on with the news. Now, as you know, Coinbase listed yesterday. And, by all accounts, it did quite well. After listing, the NASDAQ put on a reserve price of $250, and it looks like it closed about $328 per share for Coinbase, excuse me, which effectively is 50% up from its reserve price of 250. Now, if you compare that, Slack came on the market, and that was a really high-profile IPO as well, and they were up 48%, and Spotify did the same thing, did an IPO, and they were up 26% by the end of the day. So I think that's a reasonably good story. Now, again, I keep saying to Binance is 5 times bigger than Coinbase, right? And much more diversified, does many, many more things, has millions of more clients than Coinbase, and now even has a platform that's in competition with Ethereum. It is just so obvious where the Binance coin is going to get to me. It's going to go well over $1,000 per unit on the cryptocurrency market, right? And it's a mega business. Chang Peng Zhao, I got it right. It's just a genius. I mean, the guy worked in financial markets, right? He's a computer coder. He used to work with Bloomberg. The guy is a genius, and seriously, the business he's built in less than 3 years max, it's generating much more profitability than Coinbase will ever generate. Just unbelievable. I could see Binance coin seriously in 10 years' time being worth $10,000 per unit. It's just an incredible business. But anyway, let's get on with this. Now, another big story today was also Tezos. Now, this is really big. And so after this story, I got my investors to buy Tezos at $6.81, right? Because I tell you, this is a really big story. Societe Generale, which is a huge investment bank and one of the biggest banks in Europe, right? And I know them very well because in the 80s, they used to do structured deals and swaps and options and all sorts of derivatives and everything. And these guys, have rocket scientists working for them, right? They really do. Well, now they've actually they're integrating with Tezos and using Tezos' blockchain, right? And this is seriously huge, right, for Tezos. And, I have said previously that Tezos reminds me of Theta. Just the way it trades, its liquidity, the way it looks, just something about it. And I think Tezos, seriously, is going to be another Theta. And I do believe with this link up with Societe Generale, right, that Tezos could go over $25 or something, seriously, because Societe Generale are huge. And these guys would be the only ones doing this sort of thing in Europe, right? I mean, they're really progressive, this bank, right? So what they're doing is they're going to use Tezos' platform, and they said it's a blockchain-focused regulated subsidiary of Societe Generale Group, and it's called the Force platform, right? And Forge will be able to issue exchange notes, anything you want to issue. They'll be able to do custody. They'll be able to do tokenization, NFTs, any sort of financial market asset in the world, right? Structured deals and everything, right? I mean, this is incredible. Now, Societe Generale is using Tezos over and above Ethereum because, interestingly enough, Societe Generale tried Ethereum back in 2019 to issue a security token, and obviously they mustn't have liked Ethereum, which doesn't surprise me because they're still proof of work and they're costing everyone a fortune, right? And, I've got a story to tell you about Ethereum today too, which is really interesting. So, obviously, Societe Generale found Tezos' platform and integration a much better system than Ethereum. So that's why I've got my clients to actually buy basically Tezos. So that's my line of thinking there, right? Now, also I want to go back to Coinbase just very quickly. Brian Armstrong, the guy from Tezos, the CEO, said that in the future, and this is really interesting as well because I'm comparing Coinbase to Binance always, right? And I'm looking for details to give me an idea of just exactly how big the business of Binance is, right? Because their profitability would be humongous compared to Coinbase's, right? Humongous. I mean, not only that, Coinbase's system is terrible. Even their professional system, it's so amateur, the exchange is a shocker, seriously. And it's costly. They don't follow up on their clients. It's a shocker. Where even though Binance's exchange, it's so clutterly, it's clutter, Binance's exchange. It's all over the place, right? I don't find that a professional exchange at all. The most professional exchange I've found is Bitfinex, right? And that's probably the most professional exchange I've found compared to the professional fiat markets, okay? So, but interesting stuff. But anyway, what this guy said was that 50% of the revenue, Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, said that 50% of the revenue from the non-trading business in 5 years will come from new products such as staking, custody, debit cards, and he expected that market to grow substantially. Now, the thing is, Binance are already onto this stuff. They're doing all this stuff, right? Not only that, they have a platform, the Smart Chain platform, which is so competitive compared to Ethereum. When you look at the fees, it's just what Ethereum's charging clients is just insanity, like 25 million a day compared to a Binance of 82,000 or something, right? So Binance is worth a fortune. It's not too late to get into Binance, even here at 553. It's worth an absolute fortune. Yeah, gosh, it's an exciting market. This one, I tell you, it's so exciting. Now, also Mike Novogratz, he is the CEO of Galaxy, came out and he said in the next, I think it was 4 years, I can't even read my writing, but in the next, he came out and he said by 2024, Bitcoin per 1 unit of cryptocurrency would be $500,000. And you know what? That would not surprise me. Honestly, that's why you hold great assets. You do not sell them, okay? You borrow against them. I mean, the borrowing rates are so low, it's a joke. It's like a house. You never sell it, right? Because houses have been going through the roof, for 20, 30 years or something. And it's the same with crypto, right? If this guy's right about Bitcoin being at 500,000 by 2024, and I'm saying the dominance of Bitcoin is going to go down to 35% or even 10%, think about the other specific cryptos that you're actually in, right? They're going to outperform Bitcoin on a risk-adjusted rate of return basis. I mean, you have to stick with good assets because you know what? Those assets you've got, there's no supply. They're unique. And eventually the crypto market it'll become so expensive, they'll have to tokenize the crypto market because Binance will be at $10,000 per unit. And, people can't afford that, so they'll tokenize Binance. The Binance they are way ahead of the curve, and I can tell you, they will tokenize Binance coin one day. Seriously, they will, because it'll be so expensive, you won't be able to afford to buy it, just as what it is, for sure. That's my view, and I believe I'll be completely right on that one. Now, also need to go back to this Tezos thing. This forge system, right, that Societe Generale have with Tezos for the integration. They also said that the system would be integrated with existing banking instruments such as SWIFT, cross-border transfer systems. Now that to me is very interesting, and the reason why obviously it's interesting is because it steps on Ripple XRP's competition. It makes it competitive for them because obviously these guys are showing an alternative system that can do the same thing allegedly that what Ripple XRP can do. So yeah, I wouldn't mind following up on that one. That's a big interest to me, actually, I have to say. So I'm going to keep a lookout for that for sure. Now, ADA came out and they said that they're preparing for the start of their Plutus powered smart contracts, which is awesome. And people are expecting a lot from ADA. They're expecting big things, okay? ITrust Capital Retirement Accounts, the cryptocurrency IRA platform, has announced it will be introducing ADA to its available assets. Now, I don't know how big ITrust Capital. It's IRA, which is obviously America, so I don't know if it's huge or not, but I guess that's a very big, a big client for ADA for sure, which is a big tick, obviously, for ADA. We certainly have ADA in our investment portfolio, and we do believe over the next 2 to 5 years it'll do extremely well. Oh. My only problem with ADA at the moment is the volatility level of ADA, according to stats, is about 126% over a 30-day period. And when you look at the volatility rates of other cryptocurrencies, specific cryptocurrencies that we're in, on a risk-adjusted basis, Cardano doesn't do it at the moment because the volatility is so high. So, that's the problem. We're not buying Cardano at the moment. We have bought in the past at 10 cents or something silly like that, or 7 cents. But at the moment, we've been buying other things that show a higher Sharpe ratio than Cardano because the volatility, according to my stats, is still too high. And that's what I'm saying. You've got 1 unit of risk, and you've got to try and get the highest return you can for the same level of risk, right? And that's how you make serious money. Notwithstanding, you've got to know which sectors to invest in and what are the best coins in those sectors, and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so let's go on to Ethereum. And also, don't forget, Cardano is a major competitor of Ethereum. And a matter of fact, Cardano really don't like Ethereum. He believes that Ethereum people are maximalists and they're, blinded by, the shocking, obscene, gas fees and this sort of business. And, they tell lies. I mean, that's pretty much what Charles Hoskinson said about Ethereum, which is not great. I mean, also in the past, Justin Sun, has had his, toing and froing over Twitter with, what's his name? Butrin, crikey, I can never remember his name. The guy from Ethereum, Butrick, something or other. It's one of those names I can never remember, seriously, but you know who I mean. And, they were slinging, it was a slinging match. And don't forget, Tron was actually on Ethereum, back in 2018. And Justin Sun came out and said it was one of the worst systems he'd ever used, right? And literally within about half a year, Justin Sun had set up his own Tron mainnet, and effectively it's proof of stake, it runs beautifully, it can do NFTs, and it can do everything, right? I mean, Tron is amazing, and it's still underpriced, right? Justin Sun is so well connected, right? He knows, Changpeng Zhao from Binance, right? He knows the billionaires, the Asian billionaires, the guy, and you've got to understand, when the Asians have serious money, we are talking like serious money, higher than probably anyone maybe, in the world, right? The interesting thing is in Singapore, they have the highest percentage of billionaires in the world. I mean, it's just mind-blowing, seriously. So, yeah, it's just, but look, there has been a lot of slinging between, and I think this is why I'm so negative. Ethereum, honestly, I really am, because I think they're just going to continue to bleed. And I do believe Binance will take over Ethereum's price. It's just a no-brainer in my mind. It's not only that, people don't seem to understand that Ethereum doesn't have fixed supply either. Binance has fixed supply and is burning their coin, where Ethereum, it doesn't have fixed supply, right? So they have to keep issuing Ethereum, right, to satisfy people who go into their ICO platform. But, you know, that's what I'm saying. More Ethereum is coming into the market. And at the moment, it's a pretty, you know, crap system, right? That's my belief anyway. Because, you know, I've got the proof to show you, right? Apparently Ethereum last night did a Berlin hard fork. And apparently it's live. And I know I was doing some stuff with Nexo last night and a few other people. And Nexo uses Binance and ERC20 token, right? And I had all troubles with the ERC20 token. And it's no wonder it's because of this Berlin hard fork thing, right? Which is interesting because I didn't hear a lot of news about it, right? So I didn't know about it. But I do remember that it was terribly difficult on exchanges to get anything ERC20, you know, and that sort of thing, right? So what happened with this Berlin hard fork upgrade with that? They didn't seem to tell people, right? The upgrade is supposed to incorporate 4 optimizations aimed at gas efficiencies and improve security, right? This is what it's supposed to do. So it went live apparently on Thursday. So it was a network upgrade essentially to improve gas prices and allow new transaction types, right? Which is interesting. So, you know, the thing is gas prices are so expensive, right? So what they wanted to do is, create a structure where if a gas price was out of a certain percentage, and this is what they created, 2.65%, then the transaction was denied because the miners are trying to take too much off you. But you know what? 2.65% as a fee it's even still high, right? You know, that's no discount to anyone. I mean, that's a joke. If that's 2.65% of your transaction amount, you're paying a lot of money for that, right? When you look at Ethereum, when you look at Ripple's system, XRP, you don't even pay 0.0, about 8 digits, right? This is Fed income, 0.000000007 or something, right? So, you know, Ethereum, in my mind, is a real joke because that is just, the fees are still too high, right? Honestly, they really are. But not only that, right, something else happened, which I thought was very interesting. When they did this Berlin thing, right, the fork, right, apparently people found later that none of their ledgers, Nano X's and Ledger Nano S's, were linking up, right, you know, to the whole network of Ethereum and everything else, right, because all the data is on Ethereum's network. Ledger's like a viewing mechanism, like a pair of binoculars, where you can see something close up if you don't use the binoculars, right? Well, it's the same with your ledger. You know, the coins don't sit on the ledger. They sit on the networks, you know, where you buy the coins if they have their own mainnet. Now, a lot of tokens don't have their own mainnet, so they're sitting on Ethereum's mainnet as an ERC20 coin. Not coin, token, I should say. It's a big difference. Token is when it's sitting on, you know, someone else's platform. A coin is when they have their own mainnet, right? So the thing is, when Ethereum did this Berlin upgrade and didn't tell enough people about it, and it just wasn't working properly, a lot of the ERC20 tokens on Ethereum's network, and there's a lot of them, if you're trying to transact anything, it just wouldn't happen because the ledgers and everything else in the system weren't syncing properly, right? And this caused a lot of problems for a lot of people, right? And it certainly happened to me as well, right? So, you know, these Ethereum's in my mind is just seriously in trouble, right? There was some announcement between MasterCard and MasterCard and Consensus. And they've announced a partnership, right? And apparently, just interestingly enough, Consensus provides support for Ethereum on their ecosystem, right? And honestly, I think Ethereum's ecosystem is not very good, right? And I don't think Consensus is really helping the situation because not syncing, you know, to ledgers or custody or something. That is just unbelievable. Seriously. Ethereum are really, I think they're dead in the water. Fair income, I really do, okay? Now, also I meant to mention, Kathy Woods from Ark Investment bought coin on the NASDAQ and obviously was selling Tesla. And we did see Tesla down last night quite a bit, so that doesn't surprise me. Blackrock is talking about cryptocurrency market. They're not doing at the moment, my understanding, but they're talking about it. And it would be very interesting if these guys came in, because BlackRock have 8.6 trillion assets under management. And that's Fed income, right? Let me say that again. They have 8.6 trillion dollars worth, US dollars worth of assets under management, man. If they came into the cryptocurrency market, this thing could go parabolic. Seriously, the market could go absolutely parabolic. I'm not kidding. Fair income, this is huge. Also, there was another story, and I just went through all the stories because sometimes you get some funny ones, right? Apparently, this guy in Miami, they call him, they go Miami-Dade Commissioner, wants residents to pay with cryptocurrency for their tax. And I just thought, I don't know how big Miami is or who this guy is, but I could imagine, this guy wants to get in the act of, cryptocurrency because he knows it's the asset class you've got to be in. Smart guy, Fed income. Also, Polygon blockchain. Now, don't forget Polygon is Matic, okay, Matic Network. They had something huge last night and they launched 60 plus crypto artists and they called them, now let me get this right, they called them Artvarters. Artvarters. That's really cool, huh? I like that. That is really cool. Now, we have Polygon Matic in our trading portfolio, and a matter of fact, I'm going to have to do another review on Matic Polygon because I tell you what, this story is huge. And I think we were buying Matic, golly, a long time ago, maybe 2 cents or something. Fed income. I mean, this thing is huge, right? Now, according to this Artvarters, a new collaborative art project on the Polygon blockchain, launched with a bang, right? The digital collectible D app saw 2.1 million volume, over 9,000 transactions, and 1,400 users, right? Now, that's very interesting to me, and that's why I'm in Polygon, okay? Because that is very interesting to me. And, it's good trade as well, right? Then PayPal came out and said, our crypto service is booming. It doesn't surprise me because PayPal rips off everyone, Fed income. You do currency with those guys, they cost you a fortune, right? 500 basis points, they're just thieves, man. Seriously, their cross-currency rates, their fees are just a shocker. Not only that, when you send your money out, you don't get it in, your bank account or anything like that, or, your card or whatever, a credit card for days on end. They're a shocker. But, I would never do crypto with them. No way. But you know what? The reality is they are making so much money in cryptocurrency, and their organisation only started 13 months ago, that, now I reckon they're going to probably switch their business to cryptocurrencies. Seriously. They're making a fortune, and they're just smart. And I mean, this guy, the head or whoever he was, said, we believe that this, we're going to, easily get to 200 million in every month and more, right? This is huge, right? And their revenues are going to be through the roof, PayPal's, but they're just thieves. A good card, honestly, if you want wholesale foreign exchange rates, go to Transferwise. I have a link, right, that you can get off me, a referral link, because you get money, apparently. We both do, which is great. So, I mean, if you need that referral, I'll give you my email address, right? Esoteric, Esoteric, ESOTERIC. Sorry, it's a bit of a long one. Trading, all one word, solutions, esoteric trading solutions at gmail.com. So if you want that link for Transferwise, send me an email, because we both get money apparently. But, you know, I converted some US today from Aussie, and I checked the wholesale market rates because I trade Aussie US and US yen all the time. And the rate was like a wholesale rate. And it was just unbelievable. It was exactly where the wholesale market was. And they charged me like a dollar Aussie, right? You know, PayPal, their rates are just a shocker, absolute shocker, Fed income. And that's why they're making so much money at the moment. So Transferwise, fantastic. For me, I can set up an Aussie dollar account and a US dollar account, and I can, you know, buy my cryptocurrency on that. I've never had any problem. Whereas my credit card with a bank, like ANZ Bank or Westpac or something like that, you know, like I couldn't, you know, they kept stopping my account, right? And I couldn't even use my credit card. So, like, Transferwise is just brilliant, seriously. Now, God, I'm still yapping here. There's so much to go on. Fed income. Now, CME Group's buying crypto, and JP Morgan are. Even a 200-year-old wine shop now accepts crypto. This wine shop's called ACA. I don't know whether that's big in the States or what. Even AXA, which is a Switzerland insurer, is now going to introduce crypto payments and receipts option. I mean, they're huge. AXA is huge. The whole world's going crypto, and there's no supply, right? Now, another story I found fascinating, right? And we've been buying Chainlink, okay? And I've got to say, the guy behind Chainlink, the CEO and founder, is a genius, an absolute genius, a Russian genius, okay? Let me just have a glass of water. Oh, I'd love a coffee, but isn't it annoying when you run out of coffee? Fed income. God, I love my coffee. Honestly, just black coffee. Good black coffee, Fed income. And I love Turkish coffee as well. Anyway, this guy, CEO and founder, Sergey Nazarov from Chainlink, right? He's a genius. He's a Russian genius, Fed income. They outlined their plan for the future yesterday or last night, and they called themselves Chainlink 2. And what he basically outlined, and this is seriously, I'm really glad we've been buying Chainlink, because honestly, after this story, I'm going to increase my valuation for Chainlink, because this is huge, right? I know you're saying, get on with it, Susie. I know I'm yapping too much. Sorry. So this is a plan to turn Definto, he called it Definto, DEFINTO, a $500 billion industry in 3 years, within 3 years, to basically decentralize, the whole DApp business, the non-fungible token business, the stablecoin business, the financial markets, everything. Now, Chainlink can do that, seriously, because their blockchain and what they're able to do is genius. Now, they have Oracle pricing feeds, right, which go to all the exchanges, right? Pricing is paramount. If you don't have proper pricing, people can actually swipe money from you, and the exchange or whatever it is can lose millions and millions and millions of dollars, right? Chainlink is a story all on its own. And honestly, the first time I bought Chainlink for the investment portfolio was $2.50, and we've been buying it all the way up, right? This valuation on Chainlink is going to really increase because of this story. So what they've got is hybrid smart contracts. And what Nazarov said, the CEO, hybrid smart contracts are about combining blockchain smart contract application capabilities and the off-chain's world-proof data and computations. Applications include non-fungible tokens, stablecoins, any financial market product or contract, you name it. An NFT platform, of course, DeFi's, and, everything to do with gaming and everything else, right? And, they've got huge targets, like within 2 years to grow to $500 billion. And that is massive, man. You know what? That's a huge story, seriously. And look out for the link. We bought it, I think the other day at $24 or something like that. Seriously. That honestly is just a huge, huge story. Fair income. Also, there's just, honestly, man, there's so much. When you read stuff, right, it's all there right in your eyes, right? I did so much research and I look at everything and I look at the links. And you know what? It becomes so easy to make money in this market because it's all there in the press, right? It's all there in the news. It's just, it becomes seriously easy to make money. I don't want to get too arrogant about it though, because, you got to be humble always. And I am humble. Thank God for that. No, I am very humble, believe me. But honestly, there's so much opportunity. I'm like, I can't, there's just so much going on. I can't even keep up with it. So another story came out, and I want you to know this one too, is Navarti, right? Which is a huge sort of almost like a bank in Asia, and they're all over Asia and in China and everything, right? In the Philippines. They're now leveraging RippleNet's technology and using XRP for cross-currency payments. And that's seriously huge for XRP. Like, I'm not kidding, right? That's massive, right? Because the Philippines work all over the world. They even work in places like, what is it, Quarter, or what's that place called? United Emirates or something, right? I don't know what they call it, but you know what I mean. And they just work everywhere, and they're always sending money home, the Philippines. I mean, that's huge business for XRP, fair income. That is seriously, seriously huge, right? Now, so I'm sorry, but look, I just seem to be getting longer and longer. I'm really sorry about that. It's just that there's so much going on, and I don't want to miss the big stuff, right? You need to be informed of the big stuff that's going to make you money, seriously. Okay, so what else we got here? So the social media today, it was focusing on Link. Doesn't surprise me. We have Link. It was focusing on VeChain. Doesn't surprise me. We have VeChain. It was focusing on Chiles. Doesn't surprise me. We have Chiles. It was focusing on Cosmos. We have Cosmos. Oh my God, this is like, our investment portfolio, Fed income. It was focusing on the other one, World Wide Web was focusing on VeChain. Binance, doesn't surprise me. Obviously, it was focusing on Dogecoin, which I wouldn't touch with a poll. And what else was it focusing on? Bitcoin SV, kidding me? I wouldn't touch that with a poll. I don't trust Craig Wright, who's the the guy behind that. He reckons he's Satoshi, right? And that's just balderdash. I think that's garbology. And it was talking about Zcash. Why would you be doing that? Zcash is privacy, with regulation, right? Zcash is going to go. I mean, there's a lot of exchanges that have been delisting privacy coins. They're just not going to perform. The governors and, the government will not allow, privacy coins. There's just no way in the world. You know what governments are like? They want to control everything. Fair income. All right, but look, that's the social media. On our trading model, interesting that the trading model is not giving me ultra bullish, but I can tell you something right now. This market is seriously ultra bullish. My trading model, that's why trading models can be wrong, right? Because I don't believe this. It's saying to me there's 583 bullish against 443 bearish. And I mean, that's just not right. Not from what I'm observing. Seriously, this is going full frontal bull, like you've never seen before, parabolic. Honestly, everything I look at and everything I read, this market is going parabolic. And you know what? It's not too late to get in, right? I mean, I've looked at a couple of charts, and I've got, this is on the crypto, right? I've got breakout. You know, on XRX, we bought XRX. It's going to break out from here. Atom, I had breakout on. We bought some yesterday, right? There's a tie-up with DOT, right? It's a no-brainer. BTT, we bought at 0.072. It's broken out today. Tezos is breaking out, right? So many breakouts. Tron, Chiles, Nexo, Theta, QTUM, Neo, Matic, One, ONT, You know what? You know what's the cheapest out there at the moment, if you need to invest more, is Swipe. SXP, right? That thing, I don't know why they're bloody hitting it. It's about $460 at the moment, 4.6 I think or something. But you know what? That got to a high of $8.61. It's near its lows, right? That is cheap. Swipe is, you know, like a square. This is cheap, believe me. Other breakouts, Engine, Litecoin, Crow. Now, I've been banging on about Crow and Chiles. If you don't have a lot of money, it's still not too late to invest. Buy Chiles, buy Crow. My valuations for these are like, gosh, 10 times more, right? By the end of the year, right? Buy BTT. You know, I'll give you some crypto that's under a cent. BTT's under a cent. The Key's under a cent, right? They're high-risk strategies, but look, you know, it's worth the risk, right? BTT isn't because it's a part of the Tron network, right? And it's a no-brainer. BTT is going to surprise a lot of people, and it's going to go a lot higher. Now, there's other breakouts as well. Litecoin, XRP is definitely broken out. What else we got? RSR is broken out. XDC, is that Zinfin? Have to have a look at that again. It's breaking out, man, for sure. You know, there's so many breakouts, right? And the Bitcoin shorts that are trying to short this market are just dummies. Seriously, you're going to get killed going short. There's no supply. Why would you be going short, right? Just a bunch of idiots. Fair income, I have to say that, because why would you be going short? ICX, Icon is breaking out. Honestly, there is so much opportunity in this market. You know, Wirex, which is what, 0.011 cent, is breaking out. You know, the Key's breaking out, which is 0.0002 or something. So that's what I'm saying. If you don't have a lot of money in the crypto market, you know, you can trade like $200. That's it. BTT, right, is 0.0081, right? Just go for it, man. You know, you'll be very happy you did it, for sure. You know, if you can't afford to lose much, just do the minimum you can afford, you know, and that's it. Believe me. Now, I haven't even started with the fiat news today. My God, seriously. This is crazy. Excuse me for a minute. It's just that these markets are becoming more and more entwined and, you know, much more, you know, just fascinating to me, I have to say. They're all connected markets, and they're all connected by cash. Don't forget that, okay? Coinbase at the moment is 333.53. Not really doing much from the close of last night. It was 328, so it's not really doing much at all. Just, I don't know whether they know what they want to do with it. Isn't that weird? And the NASDAQ and everything else is at all-time highs, right? Fair income. The NASDAQ's up 170, and it's gone through 14,000 as we speak, right? Wow. And the Dow is gone through 34,000 as we speak. Wow, man, this is unbelievable. See what I mean? There's so much cash out there, and it's, you know, this is just going to push all the risk markets up. It's so obvious to me. I'm not kidding. Higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. I mean, you had the banks last night reporting, the three larger banks, right? JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and Wells Fargo. And they reported higher profits than ever before. I mean, they said they'd never seen growth like it, right? So what's going on here? I mean, the banks are, you know, making a fortune, billions and billions. And then on the other side, you got massive unemployment, right? You know, at the people level. I mean, something is seriously wrong in Rook, fair income. You know, don't worry about it. It's a place in Victoria, country Victoria, Rook. We used to go down there with our grandparents. It was great. Anyway, so something's not right here, guys and girls, fair income, because you know what? I mean, if you look at the jobless claims every week for new unemployed, right? It's basically 600, 700,000, okay? Hang 10, guys. Oh, you're on. No. All right. Anyway, sorry about that. So something's not right here. I have to tell you this. Something's seriously, seriously not right. You've got every week, 700 people, 700,000 people that are going for new time unemployment benefits, right? And even today, that was 576,000. It's massive, right? Seriously, this is massive. And honestly, the numbers that came out for manufacturing were a shocker, right? You had US manufacturing output down 2.7%, which is terrible. US capacity utilization down 74%. These figures are terrible, man. And US industrial production down 1.4%. I mean, these figures are a shocker. It basically says the US is not manufacturing anything and it's declining like you wouldn't believe, right? Which is a serious problem because the US have massive, massive debt. And if they're not earning any revenue, right, or selling anything overseas, how are they going to pay back their massive debts, man? I mean, those figures were alarming to me, I have to say. And I did look into those figures even further. And what I found is the figures have deteriorated so much. For me, it was just absolutely alarming. Seriously. If you look on their website, the Federal Reserve Government's website, right? I mean, fair income, you look at their, the major groups, right? What have we got? Just bear with me for a minute. See, it's got to look at the notes and everything. It's got all the figures to how well the manufacturing groups are going and, the non-industrial supplies, business equipment, construction, materials, major industry groups, manufacturing, CBLO, and mining and utilities, right? And what I found was just really, quite alarming, okay? What it's showing is any output at all has declined massively, right, over time. Massively, I'm not kidding, which means that the US is not producing anything. The rate of production has just gone through the floor, right? And also the price of anything, right? The raw material, the raw inputs have skyrocketed, right? Completely skyrocketed. So you've got a situation where the US aren't generating any income or reduced income, but then, they're paying huge amounts of money for consumer goods, anything they have to, buy sort of thing. I mean, that's massive, really, really massive, seriously. And those figures today were really bad when you look behind them, if you know how to read them, seriously. Alarming, I have to say. Wow. Basically that's inflation. You've got to squeeze dramatically on receipts. You're not getting your income, and yet the costs of goods and services keep rising and physical things keep rising. Wool, all the commodities are starting to go up, right? Hard wood is through the roof, right? Build a house in Australia, it's costing a fortune. Amazing. Everything is so expensive, right? There's inflation in the system, and this market is going to go sky high. Okay, sky high, because what will happen is more and more people will lose their job. The Fed will keep ploughing the money in like they normally do. Billions and billions and trillions. Oh, no, not billions, trillions, right? They'll completely keep ploughing it in because as far as they're concerned, they see no inflation. According to them, it's 2.5%, when in reality, it's 35%. But also the unemployment figures are going to get worse, right? In economic depression, unemployment rate, should be at least 33%. And I don't believe their unemployment rates either, by the way. So I believe, unemployment is going to rise astronomically. And if the price of goods are going up as well, and the US dollar purchasing index is going, the US dollar's value, right? If that's going down, then it's going to cost the consumer even more money. Seriously, this is not a pretty picture. And all the money that goes in to try and help the economy is not working because it ends up in the financial markets. Again, we're going to have this huge bubble like you've never seen before, Fed income. I just know where this is going. I mean, it's going so much higher, and that's the thing. You don't want to sell your assets. Believe me, use them as collateral, but do not sell your assets, crypto assets. There is no supply. And trillions of dollars that are going to come into the market, which are going to collapse the US dollar. I mean, the right position is to have specific crypto and sell US dollar tether, and you're going to clean up on the currency as well as specific cryptocurrency. Anyway, very quickly, just for completeness, what else we got here? God, there's so much news today, Fennicum. UK says the Russians are undermining democracy, which I thought was pretty big political risk. Also, apparently the Russians have moved their military troops on the border of the Ukraine and the Crimean or something? Crimea, I think. Yeah, Crimea, sorry. And apparently, they want to take over the Ukraine. Okay, I don't know the politics, but it doesn't look good, okay? It really doesn't. And, that's quite alarming, I have to say, if they go into the Ukraine, for sure. But what I found even more alarming, and I told you this would be long, guys and girls, I'm really sorry, but it's just that there's so much in the news, I can't keep up with this, and I think I need to tell you. But what I also found more alarming is President Biden is putting up sanctions against Russia, obviously for what they're doing with the Ukraine, I should imagine. I don't really pay a lot of attention, but I certainly have today, because what's happening, obviously, with this Russian, Ukraine thing, looks like it's going to be war. So his response is to do that, President Biden's. But also on top of that, they expelled Russian diplomats and people, connected to the Russians, right? And I'm assuming, the embassy, right? They expelled all the people from the Russian embassy, maybe for being spies or something, who knows? But, this to me, I mean, I wasn't grown up in the Cold War, but this to me smells like the Americans are going back to Cold War. Fair income. This is spy stuff, Fair income, this is spy stuff. And we know the Russians, did something a couple of years ago, in the UK. It might have been 5 years ago where they poisoned that poor guy, Russian guy that came to the UK to get away from Russia, obviously. And they poisoned him, and they reckon it was connected to, obviously, the Russian, I'm not going to put it out on air, but, someone extremely well known, let's put it that way. So, wow, I mean, that's a bit scary. I mean, America is going back to Cold War, fair income. I mean, and that's even more scary, And again, war increases the cost of everything, right? It burns up materials of everything, which, again, goes on to the story. Why is gold not rising and silver when they should be? But I will say last night gold did rise a little bit, 1.44%. And to me, it looks like it's bottomed. I think it's a buy. I really do. So it's at 1761, and I'm a buyer of gold right here. And silver's at 25.88, and that was up quite a bit too, 1.55%. So I'm also a buyer of silver. And as a matter of fact, I wouldn't mind buying some physical silver as well. And oil is also up, 63.37. It's up a lot because obviously what's going on in the rest of the world is a bit scary. And then you've got the Iranian thing. My God. Anyway, I don't want to think about that. But if you have a look at the US 10-year bond rate today, it's down to 1.55%, right? And I mean, that's massive because, you know, like I told you, if it's over the 1.5, it affects the, you know, the 30-year mortgage rate in the States, right? And, you know, it smacks of me of, you know, manipulation of the yield curve, seriously, because that's come down quite dramatically, okay? Currently it's at 1.546 yield, right? And, you know, on my chart, it's like, yeah, this is going to go lower. It does smack of yield curve manipulation. And I mean, look, with that, these markets are going to go higher and higher, babies. Higher and higher, baby. Like Van Halen said, higher and higher. Anyway, darlings, that's enough of me. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank you for listening.